now, what you should do is flip your laptop, and you have a wireless mouse. You could control it from here.
Yeah,
Not now, but next time. Not now, next time.
yes.
I'm
not doing it now.
No. Well, and then we can like prop it. We'll figure it out. Now that we know what connects to everything, you're good.
We're good. Okay, brave.
Okay.
Because I don't know what I want to call this yet.
No, we don't know.
On fire progressives.
Weird ass leftists.
Weird ass leftists. Just
River
like,
rats.
Yeah, river rats. There you go.
You're going to do the introduction.
There's going to be no... I don't want to do it necessarily. Okay, maybe I will. All right.
You're living in a van down by the river.
I am Chris from mostly known Redbeard Video in my own house. To my right here, we have a legend, Fan Mitchell. He was known as Santa Claus. Like, was that like a countrywide thing or just local?
Oh, no, that was very local.
Yeah, but still.
WKOK had the most active children's program for so many years they canceled the prize.
They kept winning awards. It's the longest running children's program in the country, if not the world.
Right.
And it's probably still going.
Yep.
Poorly, but...
I think Todd does a good job.
Listen, I don't know who does it anymore, but if it's not you, it doesn't matter. So Santa Claus is a progressive, folks, and that's what we're doing here.
Santa's a huge socialist.
Santa's a huge socialist. The guy
socialist.
he gives to everybody. And then to my left, do you want to be known as Amy or Amy Knight? Are we going to go old school here
I feel
or
like
what?
we should like switch it up. Should I do Amy Day instead? Set it apart. That. You like it?
Amy Day.
Yeah, Amy
so
Day.
So the political, the progressive sword is called Amy Day.
The progressive sword.
Yeah, hell yeah. Well, because that's what we're trying to do here. So I've convened this brain trust.
I trust you don't know what the heck you're doing.
In the hopes that, I don't know, I feel that we all feel there's a major problem in this country, right? And it's become very segregated. It's become very separated. And the way I want to start, I don't know how many of these we're going to do, right? We're just going to do one at a time.
We're going to do one.
Until it gets boring, right? Until it gets boring. That's it. So, and that's how I do everything. I'm autistic. There it is. Yeah. I do things until I get bored.
Until the thrill is gone.
Yeah, until I'm bored. And then I go, all right, we're not fixing any problems and now it's boring. So there you go.
Hyperfocus is gone.
That's
Bye.
it. On to the new thing. So what I'd like to do to start this is I have two people here with me. We're all three like-minded, I believe.
Somewhat.
However,
pretty close.
I'm sure we have separations.
Yeah.
Sure.
But that's what this country is about. And we're losing that, and I think that's what you're getting
So
to.
Fan Mitchell has just touched upon where I'd like to start. I want you to tell me first, what do you see America being? What do you think it should be?
Hey, I'm an octogenarian, so I have a different point of view because I've seen this whole thing. And certainly what we had up until 15 years ago was a country that operated very well. Not perfectly.
Right.
And sometimes horribly, sometimes unequally, etc. But it kind of seemed to circle around the same story of trying to get us to be a better place to live for, obviously the children and the grandchildren. And right now I feel less comfortable about that.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. I feel the same way. So you believe that we were supposed to be a force for good. We were supposed to be generally. And we made mistakes along the way, but poor choices. But
I'm one of those old-fashioned people that think that most human beings are good. There are some that really screw up the applesauce, but it's a small number and they're very loud.
Mm-hmm.
So to get people to be more what we were before, but better, would seem good to me.
yeah, Ms. Amy.
Oh.
What is your vision for what we should be?
you started with quoting and talking about your age. I'm a millennial on the older end of millennial. So to put
So would you be a zillennial?
I am like in that zillennial.
Like the
It really
83 to
depends on which
79?
article you talk to or which article you see.
Truth.
But yes, I'm zennial. I would describe myself as zennial specifically because I am at that 1984 was when I was born.
Right, there you
that
go.
cusp of right when the internet came out and was available in our homes and all of that. And so my perspective is common among a lot of millennials where we were sold a faulty bit of goods here. We were, one, told to get an education because it would help us. It got us in so much astronomical debt. The wages didn't catch up to these great jobs that we were supposed to be able to pay for that education with.
Right.
The economy tanked. We couldn't find homes. And there's so much that like I did everything that I possibly could to try and do the thing that I was told to do. I was a good little girl, and that part of it, when I left graduate school and the economy tanked and suddenly nothing mattered anymore. And I went from having a pretty good established career set ready to go because I worked in radio early in my life.
Right.
For it to tank and go, oh, new plan? Nurse's aide it is. And I became a nurse's aide.
That's it, right?
And like my story is very weird and twisted and goes many, many different routes there. But like that is so indicative of what my generation experienced was there was so much promise and we were promised this world. Turns out, the money's gone and everything is destroyed and no one will let us move past it.
Right. Truth.
I mean, that's a little bit of a hot take, but like
No, you're spot on.
I'm watching it. I'm watching what could be, what I would love to see the country as this. Like I when someday we'll pan the camera out
just so you know, yeah.
so you can see the view. And
Susquehanna River.
Yes.
Susquehanna River,
and
baby.
it's gorgeous, and it's right,
It is-
and it's literally this gentleman's backyard.
And-
It's
and
wonderful.
And we live in Turtletown, so this is being done in Turtleville.
Turtleville.
Turtleville. It's on maps that way.
Perfect. And the thing is I grew up on this river, and I ate fish out of that river. And you know how dangerous that is now?
I'm sure. I can't imagine.
You're not supposed to do that
I
anymore.
can't
I think it's like 2 fish a year. Are you kidding me?
Now here's something I think, and correct me, but
Please.
I think it was always dangerous to eat fish out of the river when they decided to take the coal mines and say, "Oh
That
look,
too.
we don't need this anymore. Let's dump it in the
Yeah,
river."
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But that's exactly the point, is that we could have this. The country has this in spades.
Right.
But it's left to only the so few that can have access to it.
Yes.
And now they're deciding to tear it all down.
Yeah.
And build these loud, noisy, polluting data centers on something that the country has not been sold on in any kind of way.
No, they haven't even tried to present it to us.
No, and that would take 3 shows on its own.
Yeah,
as
but
we
I mean, like,
discussed
they haven't
that.
tried to present us with anything.
But I'm watching it going, man, we could have had so much.
We could have had it all.
I know, and I look at how beautiful my area is, and I'm very fortunate to live in such a beautiful area.
Yes.
That it hasn't been touched yet.
Right.
It has been in some ways, but like, they're gunning for it.
Yes.
Go to the coal regions, you'll find it.
I
That's
know.
where I live. That's
and
where
the
I
thing
live.
is those
So-
places are stunning. They're
I
beautiful places.
think so. I live in a town called Shamokin.
Yeah,
right?
right. There you go.
And to me, like, Shamokin is so maligned on every, like, it was so maligned that I think it was a decade ago, Daniel Tosh, a comedian, had a show called Tosh.0, where he just basically like watched YouTube and like commented on funny and weird YouTube videos. And actually one of our friends, Chad Evans, he made a video about this is Shamokin or whatever.
Oh, that was
So-
a great video.
That was fun.
Daniel Tosh got a hold of this,
I remember this.
and basically labeled Shamokin the shithole of the country. Like, and so I can see where many would say that, being someone who has lived there for about a decade now. But I think it gets a bad rap, personally. I just
100%.
think we're broke as fuck.
No,
and
that's the thing. There's a very big difference. Like, the thing is this is an impoverished area.
Oh God, it's awful.
Like, I work for the government in some aspects where I have a deeper understanding for income and what people make and how it attributes to how they spend their daily lives. And I'm going to tell you, and I will beat this drum until it no longer makes a noise. People don't make enough.
No.
Wages are way too low. We don't have enough.
Wait.
And
the billionaires are doing just
oh yeah,
Oh,
oh yeah,
fine.
oh
Yeah,
yeah.
the
That's
1%ers.
part two to
Just
that, fan. Don't you
fine.
worry, baby. I got you.
And I even think
that's it.
I even
That's
think it's
exactly
less
right.
than 1% now, because I think even people who have like $1 million is like nothing anymore.
Which is wild to me, but then again, my perspective is somebody that lives rurally, so my cost of living is much lower, but the access that we lose in rural places like this is huge.
Right.
The things that we don't have access to that we should if we lived in a place that was better developed smartly,
Sure.
instead of cutting corners to try and make sure big wigs somewhere else get more money.
we still have shaky internet, Wi-Fi in this area.
I know.
It's
Yeah.
wild.
Now, here at the house,
Mm-hmm.
we have plastic. What's it called? Fiber.
Fiber
optic.
Yeah.
Fiber optics.
And, it's great.
Yeah.
We don't pay enough to get the good stuff.
But like, you don't have to go very far. Like, I work at a home in Sunbury, which is in the farm area of Sunbury.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that internet just cuts out for like 45 minutes at a time for like no reason.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Like,
Oh,
just
yeah.
whoop, like the wind blows like west all of a sudden. You're like, what just happened?
Well, I'll
wild.
tell you, being cabled in with
It makes a huge difference.
fiber makes a difference.
But that's what I'm saying when she's talking about like the it's almost like the planning of all of this was just like it was only to satiate those who could easily afford it. Like, I just heard someone on the radio. It's so weird, and this has nothing to do with politics. I was listening to sports talk radio, but I just heard a legend. The guy's been in the game for 50 years, and he's whining that he didn't get a free ticket to the NBA Finals game tonight in New York. And I'm like, dude,
God.
you're a millionaire. Go buy your fucking ticket and shut up. And if you do get a free ticket, give it to someone who can't afford it.
I'll tell you, right now it sounds like if you're a millionaire and you buy a fucking ticket, you're not a millionaire anymore.
Well, yeah, I mean that's totally true. Like, one of my favorite bands in the world just kicked off their reunion tour last night. Rush, one of my favorite bands. They are my favorite band of all time, and I dropped a tremendous amount of money just to see them once. Like, I'm gonna go see them in the summer, but like I had to like consult with the wife and be like, is this gonna work? Like,
How much I haven't seen a concert in a while. How much are tickets going for now?
it really depends. So if you're gonna go see someone big, like if you're gonna see a Taylor Swift or this Rush tour or whatever, you're dropping minimum $150 to like sit
in the nosebleeds.
Like, I dropped $700 to get seats like on the floor in the
Okay,
area.
because now I'm aging myself here too, but when I saw like Hanson back in the day,
Hanson.
it was I think they were $25.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Well, I remember seeing, again, so I saw Rush. I've seen Rush 22 times in my life. And I remember the first time I saw them was 1993, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I was in the center, and I sat like third row center at Madison Square Garden. I think they were $75.
Yeah.
Front row, third row, center, $75.
Have you guys ever heard of the Grateful Dead?
Absolutely.
No,
I think Bob Weir just passed, I think, last year.
one generation below us, and no, probably not.
Right.
They would.
Like, people today might be. I mean, actually, they're
a long-lasting group.
well, not just that. Their logo is like icon, icon stuff.
And,
so I think.
and things always come back around. I'm seeing more '80s stuff now.
But you talk to a kid in this generation, you show them the Grateful Dead Bears, and they'll go, "Oh, that's the Grateful Dead Bears,"
Yeah.
or like the Lightning Skull or whatever.
Yeah.
But if you go up to them and go, "Did you ever hear the song Terrapin Station?" They're gonna go, "What?"
Yeah.
Like, they have no idea. Like, they have no clue.
Yeah, we have a Terrapin up here.
Very different.
A Terrapin Healthcare. it's a really good pot store.
Yeah, I'm sure it is, and I'm sure it's honoring the Grateful Dead. I'm sure.
man,
Well,
love
I'm
you.
sure some of
missed
the
you.
guys up there like it, and some of the gals up there like it. I love garage bands. I've
Yeah.
gone around year after year locally for garage bands.
Sure.
I hear you do a thing here every week, or every once. Is it every week or?
Well, yeah, every
Wednesday.
week.
You have musicians here just hanging out.
Well, we have friends who are
So we should just
musicians,
Yeah.
record that.
and
shit.
Yeah.
they go out and play together, and so they practice here,
Oh, nice.
and we love it.
I bet.
See,
I bet.
back in the day, Than used to throw some legendary Labor Day parties too, and I had the
That
pleasure.
was Margaret, my wife, who threw
Well, I had the pleasure of attending a couple of those before they came to a close, and let me tell you, that's a sweet party. That's a good
lot
party.
of like-minded people there, I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like I aim for the same energy for my parties someday. Like I want that.
Your parties are dope.
I
Your
thank
Halloween
you.
parties. Your
Oh,
Halloween
yeah.
parties are
Oh,
great.
I do love throwing me a party.
Unfortunately, I can, like the last 3 years, I just can't make them. But I made
no.
2 of them 2 years in a row. I love them.
there
I love
are
those
plenty. We're always throwing
Parties. I
something.
love those parties.
So we're kind of got off the subject.
We're going to
here.
do that.
We're gonna.
Oh no,
Nerd-
we
nerd-
can't do that.
Neurodivergent radio personality, old radio personality.
Wait a minute. Getting older all the time.
By
I'm
the
sure there's
second.
more ailments between us here.
I mean, insurance,
we're not
health
gonna-
insurance, a health insurance company looks at us and goes,
We're not going to sit around here and do the organ recital on you. I got a bad stomach. I got a bad
Between the three of us, there might be a full functioning human.
yes.
If you smush us
heart.
together, there
Don't count
might
on
be.
me for much.
Just stay tuned for that episode. But anyway, talking about health, how about that? How about we talk about that? What are your feelings on universal health care, my friend?
That's the easiest one this side of feeding everybody.
Right?
And that is universal health care works in something like 150 countries.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about shithole countries. They have good health care.
Yeah.
You get sick, you don't go to the bankruptcy court.
Mm-hmm.
You get better. And I don't know how we turned into the people who didn't give a shit about the sick.
Well, and then so that speaks to what we started with, which was like the idea of the greater good and the idea of just being like how. So what I'm seeing the universal healthcare is the perfect line of delineation for this for me is that it's what shows like we are capitalism. Like this
Yeah.
country
Yeah.
is capitalism. Like from soup to nuts. And like I read a meme today which made me laugh, but also made me ponder. With all of these egomaniacal oligarchs who are billionaires and near trillionaires now at this point running around, wouldn't you think one of these egomaniacs would go, God, I'd be a hero if I just fed everybody.
Oh yeah. Oh, my husband.
Are
and
you
I-
kidding me?
My
Like,
husband
if I was
and
a
I-
trillionaire, I would.
If my husband and I always talk about like, God forbid I had fuck you money.
Right?
I would fix so much stuff because it bugs me.
I don't even have fuck you money, and anytime I see
want,
someone
like-
online that's like, every time I see someone online that's like, oh my God, we can't afford it, I send the money.
I wish, yeah, like I try and do that stuff too when I can, and like it's never enough. And like how someone could think that they just need more is wild.
That-
It corrupts
When
the
you
brain.
have a billion, you need two.
I think it does.
It corrupts the brain.
I think it does. I really believe that most billionaires are mentally ill, like on a
well-
serious
Oh, I
level.
Yeah, they
think
are.
that they can get it taken care of. better than we can.
That's true. But like, I think there's a serious illness to it. Like, it's not like they're
Yeah.
twisted, and that's why I'm not surprised. I used to be surprised. Like, I remember when like the Epstein file stuff started, and I was like, they all can't be.
Oh,
and
no.
now I'm like, they definitely are.
They are.
Like, because there is an illness that has to overtake you for to be like, this is all mine.
When you-
All of this is mine, and yours is mine, and
Well,
yours is mine.
Look at
and
the
yours
head
is
of the
mine.
country.
Oh God, he's a gluttonous
I mean, he
mess.
is-
Oh my God.
He has one thought on his mind, and that's him.
Yeah, he's literally a sloth. I can't think of anything, and I think that's discrediting sloths. So Jesus.
Sloths
feel-
are just lazy. He's lazy and stupid.
That's true. That's true. He
And
is
then
stupid.
has the most maniacal and malicious people underneath him that are just pulling strings, and he's just I can't even begin.
A comedy act.
I just the worst. This is the worst possible timeline. Everything that is stupid and wrong is happening.
Yeah.
The worst possible scenarios. Oh, this is now messed up. Oh, we pissed off this country. Oh, we're just deciding to cut these funds for reasons. Here comes a natural disaster. Who could have predicted?
I mean,
it's wild.
This is a man who has taken the concept of because I'm a non-religious person.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a full-on atheist. So if I offend, I apologize, whoever it is. But to me, he took advantage of the largest cult on earth, which is
Mm-hmm.
Christianity, and made his own, which is now the now I don't know if I can classify Christianity as a full-on cult because there's so many different factions, and not everybody is a terrible Christian, right? Who practices, but MAGA, that is full-fledged cult,
and that has far more insidious ties into the fundamentalists
Yes.
and the mega church type folks. At least from my understanding, that's where a lot of that is. Now, granted, the Catholics were on for it for the pro-life part of it.
right? Well, of course they are always going to be.
And they're going to be there's
then he
certain
went
people
after
that
the
are going to
Pope.
have those issues, but I know that it's the mega church vibe that he shows at his rallies.
Yeah.
That
Yes.
that he does in all that low din music that comes underneath
Yes,
him.
yes.
It mimics what a mega church is like.
Absolutely.
And there's a reason those things exist,
Mm-hmm.
and there's a reason why those exist in religion. It is meant to pull you in, and it's meant to. It's a cult.
Look,
It's a
I almost
cult.
got. I mean, look, like I said, I haven't said on this show, but when I was in my 20s and I was married to my first wife, I was a staunch Catholic.
Mm-hmm.
I was a conservative Catholic. I voted for George W. Bush the first time. But that happened, right? And I bought into it.
Boy,
and
doesn't
then,
George W. look better
oh
now?
my God, yeah, absolutely, and that's wild. Dick Cheney just died, and I saw people going well, he was terrible and all, but he's not Trump. That's
besides-
Why is that the bar? Why do we keep digging a ditch so we can throw the bar into the dirt lower? What is
Right.
the problem?
Well, the problem is that we've become. I mean, the core of this issue in this country, and again, this could take 3 shows, but they've gutted our education so mightily
Oh yeah.
that it's no surprise to me that I'm on TikTok on live streams and panels and things just open to discussion. And when the election first happened and Trump first won, there was this need to understand
What?
what did you, and I understand it. I know exactly how he won. He said exactly what he needed to say. He lied the entire time.
Yeah.
He said no wars, and young men said, well, I don't want to go fight any wars.
Right.
Right. So of course,
You got it.
and they don't look beyond that because we're not educated enough. We're at a point where it's we have forgotten things that should never be forgotten. The idea that I actually thought months ago when the day that he sent out the social media post about how an entire civilization dies tonight,
Oh my God.
he was going to drop a nuke. And then there were stories that have come out that General Kane had to stop him from getting the codes. So have we forgotten what this does? And do we not realize that once a nuke is dropped, the world has changed irrevocably?
I think even conservative Democrats and some less conservative Republicans are saying, this may be out of hand. And especially if they're getting out of town because they didn't run again, they're running and yelling, it's a mess, it's a mess.
Yes.
Oh, wait a minute, was I part of that mess?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
We made
forget
this
it.
happen,
Well,
right?
they're building their bunkers. All of them are, so that they can all just go somewhere else and try to avoid the heat.
But I mean,
literally.
but it's not going to matter. See, what I think the short-sightedness of the whole thing is that what do they think's going to happen? Okay, so launch, more launch, right? People we might be fine because nobody's launching here. right? It's going to be all the major cities. So we might actually be in the perfect place
We
here.
got nuclear power plants.
Yeah, we got 3 Mile Island, right? Down,
Right.
Yeah.
So we might be
Oh,
fine.
wait a minute. That's going to be
A data center.
a data center.
Oh, goody.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
goody.
brilliant. Brilliant.
Love
But
this.
they would bomb that.
Oh, good.
They
Yeah,
might. That's true.
There's that
That's
part.
how you
That's
take down
something.
the country now is turn off their electricity.
Turn off the data.
Oh, yeah. No, well, that's going to be the next thing. Yikes.
Right. Right. Well, oh yeah.
First
I'm
it'll
not
be
a
the
cons- I'm
Wi-Fi.
not a
First it'll be the
conspiracy-
internet.
I'm not a conspiracy theorist, and I'm not a doomsday prepper. But boy, it does it make me pause, going, what would happen if the power went out? What do I do next?
It would be chaos.
What happens when the interwebs are no longer available? What I know what I would do. I existed before it happened.
Yeah.
Before these things were
Truth.
here.
But like, I'm not a gun
Now,
owner.
granted, I was a
I
kid,
mean, I'm
but,
not
like-
I'm not a gun guy, but I own guns
Well,
for a reason.
That's
I hope
actually-
it's not to kill human beings.
Not unless they invade my area. That's
Really?
it. That's
Your
all it
area
is.
is so valuable that you would take
Oh, no,
another
no.
human being's life.
Actually, you know what then? You know what? I take it back because I'm not a material person. As long as they allow me to have my dwelling and leave my family alone, they can
By
take.
the way, I
they can take whatever.
understand
No, they
defending.
can. No,
yeah,
they can take.
defending your.
No, they could take whatever. I've actually just had this discussion with my son actually because a friend of his got like mugged in, I think it was in Philly or something, and he was like, and the guy got hurt because he tried to fight for his stuff, and I say, you take my stuff.
Oh,
just
take your
just
stuff.
let me keep my phone just so I have communication.
Please
if that's
don't
okay.
kill me.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not worried about that because I can handle myself unless they have a gun. I mean, and that's different. But like if somebody, but regardless of that, like I'm not gonna fight for some credit cards and like some nonsense. Like I would just want to keep my phone just so I can like call somebody and be like, hey, I got robbed. My car is gone. I would give all that up. So you know what? You've changed my thought process. Like I used to think like, oh, I'm gonna protect my land, which in my mind is protecting my family. Okay, so like if somebody comes to me, and honestly, my thought process and the whole thing also is that if somebody steals from me, like if I ever come home and my house was broken into, like I'm not gonna think along the lines of I need to get this guy, I need to get my stuff. It's gonna be more along the lines of, well, let's take an assessment of what's missing. This person must have been very desperate. There must have been a reason,
And
right?
he might have been a guy taking all this stuff they stole from you to an oligarch. And then you're allowing that crime to continue.
Then you're killing me here. What are you doing?
Switcheroos on you.
No, but I agree. I don't necessarily agree with that. If they do that, then you know what? Then they're just bad people, and it doesn't matter.
I
right?
think that
Justice will come for them at some point.
yeah, and I think we need a justice system, but it's got to be a justice
Like
system.
a real justice system, yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
not
and
what we have now.
Would you
what we have now is
really?
a
Would
joke.
people really rob each other if there wasn't scarcity?
Well, that's what I
involved
mean.
In their own, and obviously protecting your own is protecting your family and the people that you care about is one thing.
Yeah.
But I think that a lot of crime is due to scarcity alone.
It's 100. I feel
People
like
ha-
I feel most of it
it's
is most
the
blue
crimes-
collar crime.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm talking about
Yeah.
blue collar crimes. I'm not talking about what's happening in the upper echelons, like wage theft,
Right.
the most common crime.
Right, because
at all.
because as a rebuttal to what you just said to me about stealing for the oligarch, they're never going to send a human being to steal from my house. They'll just take my wages.
That's
Yeah.
true. They've already
Yeah.
got you.
So
by
they've
the
already got
balls.
me. So
Even me, the critic, understands protecting your family.
Mm-hmm.
And there comes a time when doing the right thing is the wrong thing, or doing the wrong thing is the right thing.
well, it depends.
depending-
It depends whose gauge of what's right and wrong
which
is,
one-
right?
yeah.
Right. Well.
Because like some, I'm sure that there are many staunch Christians out there that will tell me that I'm living the wrong life. But I can honestly tell you, most Christians that I encounter and I have these types of discussions with, I know about about the life of Jesus and how he would want me to live than they do.
Yep.
And that's an odd thing
Straight up.
that's an odd thing to wrestle with because look, I find religion as a whole to be a mental illness on its own thing. Like I think it's something that people use as like a jacket to wear or a blanket to lay under that makes them feel better. But the majority of them that I come across that are really into it, they don't really go by, like they sidestep Jesus at every turn, and they go just for the dogma or for the things that will fit what they like and dislike.
Here's kind of how I look at it. A church is a place where people gather to be with like people.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
I do that with friends.
Yes.
Yes.
You
Yes.
have your own
I-
church right here, right?
Yes.
With your musician friends or
Right.
any of your friends or
Right.
this right here.
There's church serves a purpose of building community.
Yes.
And religion is like the common ground that people gather under.
Sure.
I'm a spiritual person.
So am I.
I feel as though religion has a place in understanding the world around you, but at the same time, to negate the science that we learn is to spit in the face of what creation is.
Don't forget, we learned the science. There was no explanation for that bright
Exactly.
light to come up every morning.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
So, well, and I find science and magic to be the same.
Well,
They are what we learn more. The more we learn about the world, it is the magic that we're learning about the world.
I used to hang out with a guy who was a amateur magician. He was no good at it because he was so timid.
Mm-hmm.
But he really could do stuff with his hands.
So he wasn't a great performer, but he can do the
He had
trick.
the sleight of
Yeah,
hand.
he can
Gotcha.
do the trick.
Gotcha.
And the thing that I found out was that, yes, magic is science.
Mm-hmm.
When you flip a rope in the air and it has a knot in it, when you magically bring it down, that's a science. The end of the rope goes around and goes through the hole because you know how to do it.
Right, right.
Sawing people in half, that's a simple trick.
Mm-hmm.
The mirrors they use in cabinets,
Yep.
simple trick. But it's fun to believe in it.
Sure.
Well, yeah.
Sure.
As long as you realize, no, they didn't saw a woman in half, I'll bet.
Boy, it's a pretty story. It's an interesting story, and it's made me ponder something. But to consider it to be fact is delusional.
Well, that's the thing. Like, so my journey away from being a conservative Catholic and a conservative Christian was exactly what you're talking about. Because I've moved all over the country. Like, I grew up on Long Island, outside of New York City. I spent 5 years near Pittsburgh. I spent 3 years in New Jersey. I spent 10 years in California. Now I've been 10 years out here. I spent 2 years in Florida. So I've been to almost all four corners at this point in my life, and I've spent significant time. And I even spent throughout the 5 vacations, probably about 6 months in Canada. So like I've been around. And what I discovered by going to churches in almost all these places, except for Canada, was that I had people that I was connected to. So like initially when I was a kid, I was connected to a guy named Pastor Ernest. Guy was amazing. Like he would take his time and talk to me and explain things to me. It was great. And then later on, when I went to the Catholic route, I became very close to a young priest named Father McCartney, who was like my age. And he became the godfather of my second child. Like he's a great guy. He's a nice guy. They moved him away. So then I realized, I'm like, oh, okay, I don't really love this church all that much anymore.
Yeah.
That's weird. And then I moved out to California and I couldn't connect with anybody. I went to all the Catholic churches out there. I could not connect with anybody. And then you mentioned a mega church, and I went to one. It was called the Bethel Church. It was an evangelical church, and it was wonderful. But like at the end of the day, I realized it was about people.
Yeah.
I never ever I never caught myself like praying to a God or being like, God, please intercede on my behalf. Like I just
No.
never bought into that. But like I would go to the pastor or the priest and ask their advice and be like, you're a man of God. Tell me, whatever. So I just trusted their moral code, and I still do. I trust Jesus' moral code for the most part. I've read that.
Oh, yeah.
I've read the Jesus's books.
What?
The Gospels.
The Gospels?
Christ.
Okay,
Christ.
I was gonna say.
The Gospels. I've read the Gospels multiple times, and I even read a whole book. There's a great book if either one of you are interested in any of this type of thing, like the Jesus versus the whole Bible.
Oh, sure.
There's a book called Separation of Church and Hate by a comedian named John Fugelsang. but he was raised by a former Catholic nun and a former pastor who kind of like did their own thing or whatever. And so he goes on, and basically this book was written to combat these evangelicals who are in this country right now who have co-opted the religion to be one of hate, essentially, in a weird way.
Oh yeah,
and
I'm
so
better than you, and
Yeah,
I've got a God
right.
who
Yeah,
can prove it.
yeah, better for me and not for thee, right? Same
Yes,
thing. Like it's
yes.
the same thing. So like, and he goes on and on about it. So I've read that book twice. I've read the Gospels multiple times since. Like, and it's just and the other thing is I don't know. You might be familiar. Well, you might both might be familiar. Honestly, Christopher Hitchens. Are you familiar with him?
Name
Are
sounds
you
familiar.
kidding?
You know him, right?
Of course.
See, I had a feeling he seemed like a Christopher
Oh, yeah?
Hitchens guy. Yeah, he's an old British dude. Not old. He's gone now. He passed away like 10 years ago. But like his whole thing was he would go into spaces like Christian and Catholic colleges and debate like scholars of like
Gotcha.
Christian. And he was.
Oh, I've seen
and
some.
He was brutal.
I've
He's a British
seen
dude,
some.
and he's
Yes.
brutal.
Yes.
And that guy's my hero.
Yes.
I love that guy.
Yeah, no, I was raised Lutheran, so I was highly devout. And what I didn't understand was when the issues of gay people came up and women's bodies and the choices that we have, why those things started to fray at what I understood to be Jesus's teachings about caring for each other and don't take things that aren't yours. Those are all good principles. Be nice to each other. And why are you not being nice to someone that God created? And then suddenly that deconstruction started to happen for me. And I went to a ritual with my partner at the time, who took me to a Samhain ritual, and that opened my whole brain, where like I felt like, oh, this is nature. It's celebrating the cycles of the earth.
Yes.
It's celebrating the changes of the season and what that means and how that can be incorporated into our lives. That made the good sense to me.
Yes.
At a core part, like I watched people, they were sharing things about their lives and tossing it into the fire. I leave this behind. I fought and won cancer. I beat cancer.
Right.
Like things, huge moments of life that they were releasing and giving, like, and it was that time of the year, and there was music, and there was all of those things, but it was in tune with our real life experience. It was about the changing of the seasons. It was about how the earth gives us exactly what we need and shows us that cycle of life and death and birth and all of those things. And it felt, like I said, it made the good sense to me at the base of my being. I was like, oh, this is religion.
Well,
this is faith.
It reminds me of a bit George Carlin did when he would talk about God, and he's like, "Well, I gave up God a long time ago." He's like, the rubber met the road for him when he started praying to Joe Pesci instead, and they were answered about the same amount of time.
Yeah.
And he chose Joe Pesci because he looks like a guy who can get shit done.
Yeah.
But then he said what he actually landed on at the end of the day was he's a sun worshiper because he can verify the sun. Mm-hmm. He can see it. It's never let him down, and it provides everything he needs.
And it's warm and cozy.
Yeah, light, heat, sustenance for all things. Like it's even good for your body to be in the sun,
right,
for a certain amount of time. So, and that's what makes sense, and that's why I say, like, to me, like, if you're a devout Christian, like into the deep dogma of it or the religion of, that's kind of cult behavior. I can't it's just it's so weird to me. Like I don't know.
I was brought up as a liberal Quaker.
I love
a moderate liberal Quaker.
I love Quakers.
And Quakers in my group, where my parents took me, were devout, but they weren't necessarily God devout.
Right.
They were devout about caring about others.
Yes.
Right.
About getting meals together for the poor.
Which is
Humanist.
what it should be. Humanist.
And
That's what I am. I call myself a
humanist.
secular humanist. That's what I call myself.
Secular humanist
Yeah.
is how I blow away people who come to the door to bring you the little pamphlet.
I love those people. Oh, nothing makes me happier than to give a Jehovah a run for their money.
I invite him in, but then I sit there and I'm like, no, you're gonna let me talk.
Yeah, exactly. No. I just let them ask me their questions, and then because like I'll tell them all the time, and I'll say the other thing that changed me besides a Carlin bit, obviously, because I'm sad to say that a lot of my morality comes from George Carlin, which is weird, but. But another turning point for me was when I read a whole article, and then I did some deep diving on the Church of Satan when that was like a thing in the news, and I'm like, why does the Church of Satan seem to like people more than Christians do? Like, what is that?
The tenets are beautiful.
Yeah, they're amazing.
The tenets
it's about nature, it's about people, it's about personal accountability, and the whole thing. It's great.
I would love to get into that sometime.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like that is, I find the tenets, the principles that they go by incredibly helpful and useful if you're familiar with it at all.
Yeah. So here's how I want to wrap this up, because we started with talking about what we think America should be. Now tell me what you see happening like in the next 5 years. Like before Trump is done, before his term is up, because I don't know when he's done.
Well,
I think he's done already. I think they're literally wheeling him out. But
okay, I think now his health is showing up terribly.
Yeah.
I think now his selfishness and his, I guess, complete interest in making his family rich and go screw yourself, everybody else, I think he's done. Now, what will happen? I think we can patch up some of these places that he's rent the fabric of our nation.
Mm-hmm.
I think we can sew it back together with getting the right people in there to go out and say, you know, Britain, we didn't mean that. Canada, we do not want you except as a good, friendly neighbor.
I think the good news is that the citizens of these places see that.
Yeah.
Based on everything that I see, there are no Canadians or there are no, even Iranians. Like, even Iranians are like, we know that you, the people, don't want this, right?
Yeah.
So, like, I find that very encouraging, but I don't know how long that holds for. You know what I mean? Like, if Iran were to, like, descend into civil war, I'm not sure they're going to give a crap about us anymore, and who knows, but...
Well, we should not be there.
No, obviously, yeah.
Nope.
And I think that is the number 1 through 10 lesson. Don't fuck around with foreign countries.
Mm-hmm.
Tell them that we'll help you. Get in an organization to protect one another. Do all that stuff. But you've got to remember that we are all individual sovereign countries.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
That's my speech for the day.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't disagree. I completely. I agree with a lot of what you're saying there.
Well, now, ask me the question now again. So I know I heard it, but then I was listening to him.
So let's say Trump, you know, even if he doesn't make it, his term ends in 4 years.
Yeah.
How do you see this shaking out in the next 4 years, 5 years? Let's say 5 years. Let's give the new president, whoever it is, a year. So how do you see this as the way? Read the tea leaves and go. I think this is what's going to happen. Like, what does your tarot deck say?
Oh God. Oh God. I keep thinking. There's part of me that is.
By the way, this will be an evolutionary thing, so it may change week to week. That's the deal.
Like at the moment, it feels very doom and gloom.
I mean, Iran and Israel traded shots last night, so who knows what's going to happen?
And
meanwhile, Trump's like, peace is very close, and I'm like, they're literally bombing each other as we speak. What are you talking about?
You realize that if he says it enough time,
it'll be true, right?
It'll be true. Yeah.
Right. No, I
so
feel...
you won't be... Well, my point in that is you won't be held to it, is what I'm saying.
I'm worried. I'm incredibly worried that whoever has to come in and pick up the pieces after this, much like Biden had nothing, like he had everything that he had to do and couldn't get any of it done, it's going to be very similar. Although I will say it seems like the American people in some respects the tides are changing. So I think my immediate prediction, my immediate tea leaves say this summer is going to be rough.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think that's, yeah. I mean, so if we're looking at my 30,000-foot view, right, this is how I see it. It's going to get rough anyway. It's going to be rough even if the wars and everything stops today. It's going to be rough. The economy is it's going to be awful.
Yeah.
November is a benchmark, obviously, because we have our current regime trying to cry foul at every election that they lose, never when they win, ever.
That's true.
But when they lose every time, it's, this is rigged, this is rigged. I mean, we just saw it again over the weekend in California because Spencer Pratt, like, we're shocked that a Republican didn't finish second in the primary for the mayor of Los Angeles, like the progressive beacon of the friggin' world. To me, November is a huge thing. If November goes off, because every single poll says that Democrats will take over the Senate and the House.
I think the House, the Senate worries me.
And if that happens, then I think we'll be fine. I think it'll get really ugly because there's going to be a lot of catfighting and there's going to be a lot of Trump going, and then like, and like, but if it doesn't happen and somehow he maintains control of both the House and the Senate, because that's clearly rigged. That's clearly rigged. Like, I believe there will be blood in the streets. I'm just gonna say it. And
there already is.
No, it'll be worse.
I know it'll be worse.
It'll be blatant. It'll be obvious. It'll be full blown MAGA cult versus everybody else.
It's just happening at
We're adults. We can head that off. We can change that we don't have blood in the streets.
I'm not sure, because let me tell you,
I know.
As a man who has 6 children, 4 of which are in their 20s, they are hella angry, and I know my kids aren't violent, so I know they'll be fine, or they won't perpetrate this, but their friends and all the people they know and their generation, and go on TikTok for 5 minutes, it's bad.
And I will say, guess what you did? You also trained those kids to not be afraid of school shootings.
No. Oh, yeah, no. Well,
so they're no longer afraid
my kids
of anything
homeschooled,
anymore.
but they're not afraid of anything.
But you know what I mean? Like, you've raised these kids to normalize, with normalized violence in such a profound way.
Yeah.
That you've made your own grave there in some ways.
It's bad.
Oh boy.
That's important that parents do that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I don't pull punches with these kids. They know.
I didn't raise any children. My wife raised 2 wonderful women who are very productive and fine people.
Sure.
And I didn't have my hands on, but I know that we need to, even as old farts like me, you should be nice to children.
Santa Claus can't have kids. You have too many kids to take care of, man.
I leave all that to Emmett L.
Oh, no. So to explain that to people, if they're listening to the end
we
of
said
this,
at the beginning he was
Yeah,
Santa. We
he's
got
Santa.
that. But she is Emma the L.
But I was
She's
Emma the
the
L.
executive director of the Santa operation.
Oh, yeah.
And you're the fake news guy.
And I'm the fake news guy.
Super boss of everything.
Right.
Head elf and fashionista of the North Pole. Listen, she had a very long name tag. It was like a CVS.
She was very
receipt.
busy.
She was very busy.
But like, and you know, within the same company, yes, I was the music guy doing news for some reason. I don't know
we
why.
all used to work together, and we were all radio people from a million years ago.
Yeah.
And we all like to still talk
Yeah,
a lot.
maybe that'll be the after show. How about that? We'll trade some radio stories.
I always figured I had a BS in radio. I learned how to bullshit.
Yeah. That's the radio industry is bullshit. I mean, come on. The whole thing is BS.
Hey, this has been great.
Yeah, absolutely.
Chris,
It was a great time.
Amy,
Fan.
wonderful.
Nathaniel Mitchell, the man, the myth, the legend, and Amy Day. She's been christened and Amy Day.
Amy Day.
I am just Chris from Redbeard Videos, and hey, thanks for being here with us.